Welcome to Entertainment News on AIG Media Pro TV. I am Muyo Lania. Today on the show, we'll be talking about another aspect of entertainment, an aspect that people don't consider as entertainment, an aspect that tends to separate, the male from the female. I'm talking about sport. And specifically, I'm talking about boxing. I have with me the director of Aston Group, Mr. Khomeini Bukhari. I hope I got that right.
No, you did. It's fine.
I tried.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. So you are British and you are Pakistani.
Yeah.
Why the love for Nigeria?
I think when I was in boarding school in the UK, like most of my friends were Nigerians,
Okay.
and then it just kind of grew onto me.
That's fair enough. So you just decided to visit.
Then I decided in 2009. I think I was meant to come in 2007. Then in 2009, I just came to Nigeria, and I had a lot of fun. It was nice. I came to Abuja then, very peaceful, very nice, and then I just kept on coming back.
Okay. So how often have you been coming, or how often do you come?
How often do I come now? I would say I'm like half the year I'm in Nigeria. Yeah.
That's
In and out continuously.
Okay, so let's go into boxing. How did you develop interest in that? Like, what made you delve into boxing of all?
Okay, when I was in boarding school, I used to play rugby, so I like all these type of contact sports. I also looked at boxing as more like an art as well. It's not something that you're meant to go on the street and fight people, but it also teaches you self-defense, discipline, and in terms of when you comes to the boxing training, it's very, very healthy, and I think that anybody that does it, whether you're a male or a female, that it's just the exercise itself is very, very good. It's not easy to be a boxer. It's like they run like so many kilometers in the morning, then they do training in the afternoon and training in the evening. You have to eat healthy, so there's a lot of discipline involved. How did I just come into boxing like to this extent? We've been doing a lot of business in Nigeria, and we've always thought about like the corporate social responsibility side, how we can give back to Nigeria, and that my friends and me, we've had a lot of fun in Nigeria, and we thought that when you go outside of the country and then you hear all these stories about Nigeria, that's like a very minute percentage, which is negligible, about Nigerians that commit crimes and stuff, and we felt that the image was wrong. So, but regardless of that, like because we earned from here, we just felt that we need to give back to the country, and we thought that then we met Larry Kondao, and we thought that Larry Kondao would be the perfect project to be a part of because he represents Nigeria abroad under the green, white, green flag. Anthony Joshua doesn't, unfortunately, even though he's a Nigerian, he says a lot of good things about it. But Larry Kondao does, and we just felt that by being close to Larry Kondao, it will project Nigeria as good image abroad. Him being a Nigerian, and I think it would, and then also his success would also inspire the youth, because at the end of the day, he was born in Nigeria, was raised in Nigeria. He wasn't from a wealthy family, and through a lot of hard work, he got himself to the top. And he also has a lot of challenges as well. If you read his story, his children, his life, so I think that he would be like perfect to inspire the youths and also to project Nigeria in a good light.
All right. So, what do you think of the boxing industry in Nigeria?
The boxing industry. I think that Nigerians, being actually strong, have a lot of potential to be world champions in physical sports such as boxing. However, I think that the government to, put more into it, to fund them more, support them better. But I think that now that Anthony Joshua, is at the top of the game, Larry Kondao to be at the top of the game. He's up there. He's the number one Nigerian sports personality, but he's going to be higher and higher. I think the government are now seeing, oh, you know what? Since we're not really winning football, let's try and put our money in boxing and claim sporting glory and be proud of what we can do.
All right. Let's go on a quick break. Be right back. Alrighty, welcome back. I still have with me Mr. Khomeini Bukhari.
Yeah.
How lucrative is boxing? How lucrative do you think it is in Nigeria?
Boxing is very lucrative. It's like a very popular sport that it's like watching a scary movie to a certain extent, because everybody's always under suspense who's going to win. So I think Nigerians generally, and people around the world generally, enjoy watching it. Lucrative, it's very lucrative. It's just depending on how people want to spin it and bring it up into the market. Like, there's different sides to it. There's the positive side and negative side. Some people think, oh, this is two people fighting. Like, we don't really want to sponsor it and things like that. Others say no, that that they enjoy the suspense and all that stuff. But I think there's a misconception about boxing. It's like it's a disciplined sport. They fight in the ring. It's an art. They're not trying to kill each other. There's no hard feelings involved, and it's and it requires a lot of discipline as well. And as you know, that when it comes to injuries and stuff like that, then they stop it. So it's like they try and keep it as safe as possible. But then you're showing the skill, the fighting skill of the human being, which is very exciting to watch. And I think that if people have invested properly, because of people really enjoy watching and stuff, that it could make a lot of money. Because as you can see, it's growing so fast now because of Anthony Joshua. So now a lot of people want to go into boxing. Everybody wants to know how they're going to get into boxing.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Anthony Joshua, we noticed that every time there's a fight, Anthony Joshua has a fight. You and some notable Nigerian delegates are, there.
Yeah. Although Anthony Joshua is representing Great Britain, Nigerians still take him as a Nigerian, so they go there to show support. I'm more than happy to always facilitate those things, because what that does is that it encourages Nigeria to know that, since Anthony Joshua could do it, so many other Nigerians can do it. There's many Anthony Joshuas on the road, given the right support. So they should all. I try and take them. Yeah, it's good to connect with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is still an amazing ambassador to Nigeria, although he doesn't represent him in the ring. And I think that it's good that Nigerians, are happy to associate with him and stuff like that. But then they also need to understand the fact that, that there's many more in Nigeria, and they can create their own. So I do all those things with the view to also, hope one day that the government realizes the potential that Nigeria has, and they can also help the youths and put them into boxing and win.
Okay. Let's quickly talk a bit about Larry. You talked earlier on about sponsoring him and supporting him, so to say. How in details did you actually come about him?
Oh, okay. What we were at the time, we were trying to arrange a visit by Anthony Joshua. So I came across a gentleman called Ben Gray, and he was the special advisor in their camp, and he was advising them on African matters. So what happened was, at the time when I met him, he also introduced Larry Condell, and I thought to myself, you know what, it's good to chase Anthony Joshua, and he's an amazing guy, and everybody would be so happy if he comes to Nigeria, but Larry Condell's Nigerian. Is that not going to be better for Nigeria if we were to have supported him and take him to the top? And that's how then I started. Then I noticed that at the time that Larry's hand was broken. So it was like I went around and I was like, come on, Nigerians, let's go and put some money together and all that stuff. And people were just like, okay, not a problem. Nothing really happened. And I was like, let me just set the example. So then I went and I fixed his hand. And then after that, as he was improving, I was like, wow, this is really good. And I don't know if you know, recently he came to Nigeria. And we did a Nigeria tour for him. I organized all of that, and it was very, very successful. And now Nigerians are becoming aware that, this guy could just be good for us to put Nigeria on the international map in a good light again.
All right. Okay. So one last question: what advice do you have for intending boxers or those that are thinking of running away from the sport, as the case may be?
Okay, firstly, like intending boxers, I think they should just keep on trying, do their best. Remember, Larry Condell also came from the streets. It's not like he was the richest man. He really, really struggled. He prayed hard. He worked hard. One just needs to stay dedicated to get to the top. You can see that in the entertainment industry and stuff like that. People have really gone far just by keeping the faith and working hard. In terms of people going out, I guess, they're just losing trust in the system, and they believe that it's not going anywhere. But if you're good and you really have potential, you just have to stick in, and eventually you will be noticed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khomeini Bukhari, Director of Peel Aston Global.
Thank you very much.
It's nice having you. Join us again next time. Once again, I am Muyo Lania.